And good morning to all the other students. Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. I'm not exactly sure about the nature of this festival that you guys are having. But one thing that unfortunately is missing from us as Muslims, and I think that it is extending to everybody outside our religion as well, which is actually the core of religion, every religion, and that is humanity. Irrespective of what religion we are from, be it Islam, be it Hinduism, be it Christianity, be it Judaism, or be it any other religion, the core, the fundamental of religion, at least I can say it from our religion's perspective, is humanity. And it's very, very unfortunate that we are missing out this very fundamental element. These verses of Quran that gentlemen recited, I don't know how many of you actually understood these verses. Noon wal qalami wa ma yasturun ma anta bi ni'mati rabbika bi majnun. And then it is said, wa innaka la'ala khuluqin azim. Here is the God Almighty. He is saying to the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of God be upon him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that you are on a vast character. إِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. You are on a vast character. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, he said, إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ لِأُتَمِّمَ مَكَارِمَ الْأَخْلَاقِ. That the only reason that I have been sent is to perfect noble character. That is the only reason that he was sent. If you look into the times when he was sent and he was given this job of passing on this message of humanity when he was made the prophet. If you look into those times, we call it the times of ignorance. I mean, it's literally called the time of ignorance. And the ignorance is the opposite of knowledge. What knowledge did they not have? This is the question that we need to ask. Which knowledge are we talking about when we say times of ignorance? What ignorance? The ignorance was about the knowledge of humanity. If you read history, we see that in those times people used to fight with each other for small little petty things. There were tribal systems in Arabia, and people would fight with each other for small little petty things like, for example, I have this field and somebody else's field is next door, is next to mine, and say if somebody's hen would cross its field and come into mine, I'll go and will fight with them. And this fight will start with an argument, will include people, will include tribes, and will turn out into a war that will extend for years. This is the times that we are talking about, times of ignorance. Girls were supposed to be the third grade citizen of that time. So much so that if somebody had a baby girl born in the family, they will go and bury them alive. These are the times that we are talking about, times of ignorance. There was immodesty. There was no concept of getting married and living as a family. These are the times we are talking about, times of ignorance. There was no humanity. And that is when Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of God be upon him, was made the prophet. And he came and he taught these people. He connected them to God, of course, because he was the messenger of God. But then which message did he come with? It was the message of humanity. And he made them human beings, literally human beings. The girls that were the third grade citizen of that time were given so much importance that he said that the person who has the most priority in your life, all of you, is your mother, who is a woman. He said the paradise is under the feet of your mother. If you want to attain paradise, you must serve your mother. He said that if anybody has 2 daughters or more, and he takes care of them well, and then when the time comes, get them married in an honorable way, he said he will be with me in paradise. He said, the best amongst you, O man, is the one who is best with his wives. This is what he did to people. He taught them humanity. This is the knowledge of Islam. He said that you must forgive each other and not fight with each other. There was a slogan in the times of ignorance that you help your brother, be he an oppressed or an oppressor. Doesn't matter. As long as he is your tribesman, you help him. Be he oppressed or be he an oppressor. Unsur akhaka zaliman aw mazluman. Help your brother, be an oppressor or an oppressed. Which doesn't make sense, right? If he's an oppressor, then you should not help him, brother. You should be on the side of the one oppressed. He taught them this is not right. One day he was sitting with his companions, and to check them after that he taught what he taught, he suddenly said, Unsur akhaka zaliman aw mazluman. That help your brother, be he an oppressor or an oppressed. These same people who had this slogan, now, after that he taught them all of what he taught, they suddenly asked the question that, O Prophet of God, it makes sense that you help an oppressed, but how can you help an oppressor? And he was just testing them that if this slogan has come out of their hearts or not. And I'm sure that he must be very happy when somebody asks this question, help your brother, be he oppressed or an oppressor. Somebody asked, how can you help an oppressor? And so this thing had gone out of their hearts. He said, help him by stopping him from oppression. This is the knowledge of Islam. This is the knowledge of humanity. He said, whoever cuts off blood relationships from you, join with them. Silman qata'aka, join with those who cut off from you. Wa'fu amman zalamaka, and pardon those, forgive those who oppress you. And we don't have time, I don't have enough time, but I recommend all of you to read his seerah, to read his life history, and see that what happened to him. Very naturally, when he was made a prophet and he joined everybody with God, and people turned against him, which is very natural. When you go against the norms of anybody, they may turn against you. And people turned against him. And not just anybody, people, his own family turned against him. His uncles turned against him. His His tribe turned against him. And he was oppressed. He was tortured. He was given psychological torture, mental torture, physical torture. And I recommend, as I said, all of you to go and read his life history. And so much so that he was forced to leave his own city, Makkah, where he was living, where his forefathers were living for centuries. He was forced to leave that place. He migrated to Medina Munawwara. An incident that happened in the middle was that he actually went to a neighboring city of Ta'if when nobody in Makkah was listening to him, rather oppressing him. And in Ta'if, people even oppressed more. They asked small little children to run after him and throw stones at him, and he was bleeding. He went to Medina Munawwara. It was not a piece of cake either. First year, there was a fight that broke between the people of Makkah and Medina. Second year, there was another fight. Third year, there was another fight. It was tough. And in those fights, there were some very close of his relatives and his friends who got killed and brutally killed. One, his uncle, his childhood friend, Sayyidina Hamza radiallahu anhu, so much so that he was brutally martyred. His dead body was mutilated and whatnot, and he was going through all of these tortures. And eventually a time came, as we might have studied, that he conquered Makkah. He went, and this is an amazing conquest. You don't find such a conquest in the human history, that he is entering Makkah Mukarramah and not a single person was killed. Not a blood was shed. Not a drop of blood. And then all of these people who had oppressed him for all these years, they were all in front of him. And the norm at that time was that if somebody would enter a city as a conqueror, he would kill people, he would dishonor women, would kill the young. And all of these were in front of him. And he said, "What do you think I'm going to do with you today?" And they knew who he was, because he lived with them. They said, "Akhun Kareem, Ibnu Akhin Kareem, you are a generous brother and a son of a generous brother. We know who you are." He said, "Exactly." He said, "I forgive all of you." It's very easy to say it. It's very difficult to do it. You forgive. He became the role model of what he was saying. This is humanity. And this is what I think that we are missing as Muslims. My dear girls and boys, we should learn that this is our religion. Humanity, love, care, forgiveness, joining, generosity, big hearts. We talk about telling others about Islam. Islam has never been taught through swords, which unfortunately some people think like that. They have not read history. Islam has never been spread through oppression. Islam has always spread through character. Always. If you become what you're supposed to become as Muslims, and then everybody will want to become like you. Why not? Because you are a human. And everybody loves human beings. Good human beings. And this is the knowledge of Islam. When we talk about knowledge, people, this is the knowledge. This is ilm. So I encourage all of you, mashallah. As I said, I don't exactly know what this festival was all about. Whatever it was, it must be something good, I'm sure. But I want all of you to leave with this one message. I want to leave this festival with this one message. That whatever we have done here, we have to go back to the basics. We need to learn who we are. We need to learn our religion well and practice it. As Ma'am Lata said, and she rightly said, that it is about practicing. Unfortunately, a lot of knowledge has been in the books and has not been in our practice. Modesty is part of our religion. Right? Humans, they are modest people. Animals don't wear clothes, we do. Right? Animals don't get married, we do. Animals, they fight with each other and hurt each other and oppress each other, we don't. So we need to bring that into practice. But first thing first, we need to learn that, right? I encourage all of you to do best in your studies, whatever you're doing, whichever grade you are in. I also want you to focus, work hard, learn with excellence, because excellence is also part of our religion. Unfortunately, we have forgotten that as well. Ihsan, the element of ihsan, the concept of ihsan, excellence. Again, if you read history, Islamic history, you will see that all of what we humans have, the basis, the foundation of all of that, almost all of that has been laid by Muslims. Be it astronomy, these stars, the names, they're all Arabic names. If you know that, they've been changed into English and French and all of that, but in reality they're all Arabic names. These constellations, stars, medicine, ophthalmology, gynecology, right? They're all, gynecology is a Quranic concept. If you read Quran, it's all there in the Quran, right? 1400 years ago, the way that a baby is developed in the womb of a mother, it is explained in so much detail when there was no concept of what's going on in. So gynecology, all of medicine is the foundation of that has been laid by Muslim scientists. So I want all of you as Muslims and all of others as well, then you focus on your studies, be focused. Unfortunately, one of the reasons that our focus has been taken away is because of the phones, mobile phones. We're too much engaged in phones so much that we are distracted. So I want all of you to be focused and do something for humanity. Seriously. Our intention behind studying should not be that I'm going to go to a job and get a few dirhams. Dirhams will come, salary will come. But when the intentions change, when we study so that we are going to go out in the world and do something for human beings, you will get the reward for that in the hereafter. You will get your salaries, but you also get the reward of that. So be focused, girls and boys. Be focused, be excellent in your studies, right? But don't forget that why are we here in this world? We are here in this world for the hereafter. We are preparing for the hereafter. And what earns us reward in the hereafter is to be a good human being, people. So I'll just leave with that. I hope that people have at least, understood that who are we, what is our basis, inshallah. I'm not here to teach you from A to Z, right? I'll leave it to you. And I want you to go back and learn it and practice it. May Allah Ta'ala be with you. Wa akhir da'wana. Alhamdulillah.